This video is going to show how to set up Codespaces in GitHub so you can launch Jupyter notebooks inside of VS Code in your Codespace. Let's get started. Okay, I've got a sample project here. You can see the URL, Matt Harrison sample_nb_code_project. And the key point here is that inside of this Devcontainer, you have a Devcontainer JSON file. And then down here inside of this, you want to say that this is Python and Jupyter. So you're going to add these extensions in there. And then the other thing I like to do is this command right in here in this update content command. In this case, I'm running a make setup venv. You can also install your requirements in there. That's what I would normally do, but in this project, I've got a make file. Let's look at that. So here's my make file, and we're going to run this setup venv. It's going to invoke python-mvenv and create a virtual environment, which is named up here. It's going to be called venv, and then with that virtual environment, we're going to call pip install requirements.txt. You can see up here at pip. Pip is using the virtual environment, and you can also see in here that we have requirements.txt right here. And so we have notebook inside of that. Okay, so that's what you need. You need, again, just to rehash, inside of Devcontainer, you need to say that you are using Python down here and this Jupyter extension. And then I like to install Jupyter right here. Again, you can use a make file to do this, or you can just say pip install -r, the requirements file, right directly in there. Once you've got that, what we're going to do is we're going to launch the Codespace here. So I'm going to come down here and say create a Codespace on main. This is going to think for a while. I'm just going to set up the Codespace. So while it's doing this, this will take a little bit of time, and then it pops you into VS Code. Let me bump up the font here. And you might think at this point that you're good to go. Be careful, don't start your Jupyter notebook or click on it yet. In a moment here, there it goes. You can see that it is actually saying finishing up and then running this command here, make setup venv. So right now, it's creating the virtual environment and installing those files for us. We'll give it a moment to let that finish. Okay, at this point it is done, so I'm going to open up my notebook here. One of the cool things in VS Code is I can just click on this and open that up. It's opening up at the top. Let's give it some room. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to run this cell here. And you can see up at the top here it says choose a kernel source. So I'm going to say Python environments. We just created a Python environment, and you can see it says you can create a new one, or you can use this one that has a star. This is actually the one we just created that's recommended, or you can use this other Python here. So we just created this virtual environment. I'm going to use that one right there. And you can see that now it's thinking, and it looks like it just ran that. So now we are good to go. We've installed Jupyter and started that and connected that from our Codespaces. Okay, I hope this was useful for you to be able to create a GitHub project and connect Codespaces to Jupyter and also VS Code to Jupyter.